soul of the game is at the boxing voice. Ain't no other sight in the game could see the boxing voice.
Hey, Shawn, what's up, brother?
Not too much, man. I think my dad's online too. Just trying to enjoy the Sunday and take it easy a bit.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
We got you, Commando. We got you. 10-4. So what's going on, guys? Talk to us. I mean, everybody wants to know what's going on with this fight. We're all excited. I mean, we did a show on Thursday, and instead of anybody talking about Canelo Kirkland, while they eventually got to it, everybody that did call in mentioned Porter Broner. So, I mean,
it took over the show by far.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what Porter Broner and what type of event this is going to be.
You want to take that, Shawn?
Well, you know what? From my standpoint, that's what I like to hear. I like to hear that my name is being mentioned and taking over the show, and that's what I plan to do if we get that fight. For me, it's just all about work and staying ready. That's all I do. Went to church this morning. After church, I went and did a 3-mile bike ride and a 3-mile run, and then got in the sauna a little while, and then did the 3-mile bike ride back to my home. So, it's Sunday. I got my church in, talked to the Lord, and then, got some work in as well. So that's all I do. I just try to stay dedicated to what I'm doing and stay focused day in and day out. Watch my weight, watch my food intake, and, stay ready. That's it. So I'm hearing that the fight is still developing, and everything should be on the up and up as far as that goes. So Team Porter is moving forward, in preparation to fight Adrien Broner June 20th here at the MGM is what I'm hearing.
So, Shawn, I guess the question would be is that we're also hearing that the fight is going to be at 144. I think you fought as high as middleweight before, and you're also a large 147. Are you going to be able to make the 144 comfortably where you feel like you could go into the ring 100%?
Well, you know what? There were talks of, between my dad and I about there being a catch weight. And, when my dad mentioned that it was possible that there would be a catch weight, I looked at my dad and I told him, well, I can't even worry about that. I can't, think that there's no chance that I can't make a certain weight or anything like that. So, again, man, I stay focused on what I have to do. And, I know that I'll be blessed. I'll be fine. I'll be strong. And, I'm willing and able to do whatever it takes to make this fight happen and, just to get in the ring against a good opponent and showcase my talent.
Shawn, what kind of fight is that to you on paper? I mean, I think because look, let me tell you what the biggest argument was last week. People were actually saying to us on air that Broner was a better boxer than Shawn Porter. It was crazy. I don't know what they were taking, but what kind of fight is it to you style-wise on paper?
You know what? I don't think Adrien Broner's a better boxer than I am. The kid is crazy talented. And I'm crazy skillful, and I'm very athletic, and so is he. I think one thing that makes a difference there is the hard work that you put into the gym, the focus that you put into the game plan going into a fight, and the team that you have around you and the people that you have around you. And I think as far as that goes, I have the better team, and I'm always prepared. I think I have better preparation going into the fight. So with that being said, I do think that this will be a great fight. I don't think that, I'm hearing a lot of things like, I'm too big or I'm too strong. I fought against guys that were 6'5" and put them on their butts. Size doesn't mean anything once you get into the ring. It's all about what you're able to do. And I think this is a good fight where he's talented. He's able to, throw quick, fast counters and, good, fast punches. And, not only can I keep up, but I do look to be able to surpass him if we fight.
Hey, where did this fight come from, Shawn? Like, I mean, they were talking about opponents for y'all like Bradley and Khan. And I mean, there was just so many opponents floating out there for the two of you because you two are, one of the easier marquee fighters. It's easy to make fights and put y'all's name in the bill, And so all these fights, like, how did this fight come about? I mean, did their team want it? Did your team want it? Was it, Al calling you both? I mean, what happened there?
And that's so funny that you asked me that question because, it was for me. It was kind of like, where did this fight come from? At first, it was Steve Bradley for a little less than a week, and then out of nowhere, it became Keith Thurman. And I went from, in my mind, thinking I was going to fight Timothy Bradley to thinking it might be Keith Thurman, and then my dad just approaches me and says, "Hey, we may have a fight against Adrien Broner." Obviously he asked me what I thought, and I told him I thought. And now it seems like this is the fight that we're going to move forward with. So I think out of all those names, this is the best fight for me. This is the biggest fight for me at this point in my career. And, that's what we're looking to do right now, is fight Adrien Broner.
Go ahead, James.
No, I was just wondering, because you're a very humble man. Every time we talk to you, you're very business in the ring, business outside the ring. I guess the easiest comparison with Adrien Broner is he's very boisterous. He's very out there. When you see an opponent like that, because you guys outside the ring right now, at least I haven't heard of any beefs you guys have had. When you guys start doing these press conferences, he's going to start running his mouth. He's going to come into the ring with some hip-hop star coming in with him. How does that make you feel? Is that something that gets you, I guess, you more hyped and you feel like it will drive you more? Or is it something that just kind of, pisses you off, but you don't want to pay attention to it?
Yeah, maybe for the most part. I grew up with two older brothers, so I've been beat on, I've been, talked about and, beat down and all that kind of stuff. So that's no problem for me. It's no problem for me to, hear the things that he's going to say or read the things that he's going to, say and ignore them or laugh at them or, just shrug them off. That's the type of person I am. I'm not a talker. I'm a doer, So when I know that he's a talker and I know he still has to get in the ring and do what he says he's going to do, and I know that I'm already prepared to do everything that I don't say I'm going to do, then it makes it easy for me. So for the most part, I do shrug it off. There were just a few things I saw that as of late that I kind of laughed at, but, it's really easy for me. I have selective hearing. You start saying some things I don't agree with or, I don't like, I'll just turn it off. Simple as that.
Now, Shawn, is he familiar with you from the amateurs? Does he know all that you've done and how big you were as an amateur?
Well, he's very familiar with me because, I'm from Cleveland. He's from Cincinnati. I fought a lot of his teammates. A lot of the guys that he grew up training with, I beat down. So he's very familiar with me. You go up to the national level. Even when he wasn't there, his coaches were there, and so was his teammates. So he's very familiar with everything that I can bring to the ring. And I think after being a pro as long as I have, I'm sure he's seen enough of my fights to know that he's got a handful June 20th.
So Ken, how has this been for you? When you got this phone call, how excited were you? And, how much thought, I guess, went into accepting a fight at 144?
I'm not excited. I don't get excited about stuff like this. It's, we need to get the guy to sign a piece of paper and, we need to get him to show up for June 20th because him signing is not enough. He might get locked up before then. One of his baby mamas might pull out on him and hit him with a car. Anything could happen to him. So, we can't get excited about Adrien Broner. The excitement happens during the fight. So we got to get him there first.
So how much of a worry is this? I was out there, obviously, and I know that, Shawn was already at 157. But is there any worry that we see, like what we seen with Amir Mansour Friday night? He lost all this weight, and he had no power.
I didn't watch Amir Mansour. I don't know nothing about that. 30 days prior to this fight, Shawn will be 154 and strong. That's 10 pounds to the fight weight. It's just another level for us, Anything and everything we do starts in our minds. And these guys can't deal with that because they don't have that intelligence. They don't get that kind of conversation or information from their trainers and their coaches to be passed on to them. He wouldn't be able to understand the things that I'm saying to him if I was saying what I say to Shawn to get the results that I get from Shawn. So Shawn is already focused on that. he's already taken care of that, as he said this morning, going for a bike ride. After that, going for a run, and after that, another bike ride. You know, he's already doing the things that he needs to do to be successful. The rest of it just is like extra. Putting in the game plan, getting off the few pounds that have to come off. You know, he's eating 4 times a day right now. We hope to have him at some point this week up to 6, eating 6 times a day and being strong. So I don't know what Amir went through or what other people go through. I can't, you know, divulge the things that we do to make this work for us. It's not my job to do that unless somebody wants to pay me. Beyond that, I want to see everybody be successful, but I can't pull them to the side and say, hey, man, you should do this or you should do that, because it might create a problem for them. So it works for us. We're already in motion. We're already ready. I say today we got 41 days into the weigh-in, so he just needs to sign, and he just needs to be there.
Ken, is this the quintessential fight that's won in the gym? I mean, like, Shawn said it best, I think. It's skills versus incredible physical talent. But is this the kind of fight where, not that it's taken lightly, but where the things that y'all do before fight night are the things that win y'all the fight?
No, it's the things that we've done throughout our entire life that bring us to this point. Everybody sees you on that Friday night or that Saturday night, and they say, ooh, ah. But this kid's been doing what he's doing since he's 4 years old. He's been prepping for this particular night. Adrien was on the undercards of our amateur shows when Shawn was the main event. Adrien was our sparring partner when we got ready to fight Ray Robinson. Adrien's seen what we've done to all the guys that we did that to. He saw that. So he was the kid sitting there watching that. So as we get a little closer to this fight, if we can get this kid to sign this piece of paper and show up, we're going to divulge a lot more of that information, because it's going to make him have to stand up and be the person that he really thinks he is, or he wants everybody to think he is. But you can't do that with Chris Brown. Can't do that with the hip-hop music. Can't do that with the tattoos or anything else. You got to actually get in there and do that with us. So we'll see. But it's not just going to be, you know, what happens the night before the fight or the week of the fight or even this next 6 weeks. It's going to be what he's made of, what his foundation is, what Shawn is made of from the day that I brought him into this world to where I got him at today. And if that fight changes, if someone else has to come up and step up and be that guy that night, we'll be prepared for him too. It doesn't matter who it is. But we taking June 20th MGM Grand main event. That belongs to us. So Adrien, you know, he can step aside if he wants to. That's up to him. But somebody come up in there that night and get that ass whooped.
Now, is there enough level of respect between the two camps that we won't see Adrien Broner putting Shawn in like the Undertaker chokehold?
He know better to go near my kid, man. I owe him some for 2003 in Texas. He know what that is. That's on the basketball court. We got history. So I do this for free. I don't have to get paid for it. He know not to go nowhere near my kid until he step in that ring.
All right, because I know in the Emmanuel Taylor it was a little bit of choking going on, and the other one too. What was the other kid's name? Mario. He was Mexican.
I don't remember. I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name.
Eloy Perez.
Eloy Perez. There you go. Yeah, the dude that failed cocaine test.
Yeah. There was 2 choking incidents with Adrien Broner at weigh-ins. But listen, guys, I know you were short for time. I'm glad you were able to pass some time. And we hope that he signs, man. I think that's a very big fight right there that would definitely put the winner in a good position.
Yeah, you know what? And I related it to somebody the other day. I said, you know, when you're a big-time criminal, you know, on the Fed level and you got money, and you step in there to see the judge, he tell you, okay, sir, you know, go take care of your personal business and take care of your home life and your wife and your kids and say goodbye to everybody. You got to report on June the 20th. He don't want to sign that piece of paper because he don't want to report on June the 20th.
So you think he doesn't want this fight? I mean, let's make this clear. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, no, he don't want the fight. It's not him asking for the fight. It's not him asking for the fight. You see, MGM Grand, NBC TV are demanding that they have a big fight on that night. And it just so happens that we're prepared to fight anybody on that night. So it doesn't matter if he doesn't show up. But that's not something that he wants. He don't want to have to turn himself in on June the 20th.
Ken, do you feel like he backed himself into a corner with like the kind of fights that he's taken up till now, that now like they are going to put him in the doghouse with Shawn? Like he kind of brought this upon himself?
Yeah, that definitely is part of it. You know, that's definitely part of it. You know, I had some conversations and some phone calls quite a few months back. I mean, well, actually a couple of years back, saying, hey, you know what? That's not a good idea to put him in there with Maidana. Let us take the fight. And they go, oh, no, he's going to win the fight. I said, no, he's not, man. Don't put him in there with Maidana. We'll take that fight. And they said, no. I said, okay. And it didn't work out for him that night, you know. And it's not something that, you know, we're going to run around and try to, you know, get it, you know, politic for. But, you know, since they came, you know, since the business came, since MGM Grand came, since NBC came and said, we want a big fight June 20th, we're already prepared to go. Adrien happens to be their guy. Let's get it done.
I'm excited, man. I can't wait. That's going to be awesome.
Well, Ken, again, thank you for the time, and I hope that when you guys get this, you could come on here and make it official, and we'll see whether or not he ran away from this one.
We're looking forward to it.
All right.
Thanks for the time, Ness.
Anytime, Shawn. You know it, man, and keep doing what you're doing over there.
Yeah, I'm working hard, man. I'm feeling good too, so everything's going smoothly.
All right, guys. So let's get back.